Hello, happy holidays everyone, I'm James Amero, and along with Juan and Jordan we scour the Nintendo eShop in search of the best deals every week. This week it's the Festive offers sale from Nintendo with over 700 games on offer in the UK and EU. We've handpicked the best deals. Thank you to everyone who commented on last week's video with their picks of the week. We have a $10 eShop voucher ready to go and we will announce the winner at the end of this video. We'll be giving away another $10 eShop voucher this week. All you have to do to win is let us know your pick of the week in the comments below. Anyways, enough of that, let's jump in and take a look. Kicking things off with my pick of the week, and I'm going for Moonlighter. This game is a fascinating mix between dungeon crawling and basically a shop simulator. You go, delve deep into dungeons, pick up loads of badass loot, take it back and put it up for sale in your shop. There's a lightweight but really interesting story to back it all up and give you that sense of progression. But really it's all about the gameplay. Developing your shop and figuring out what price to sell things for is surprisingly engrossing, and of course going into dungeons and smashing stuff to pieces is always going to be a blast. There are 5 dungeons in total and each of them has a unique feel. What I love about this one is the fact that you can just play it on the move at any one point for quick bursts and still really enjoy it. The bosses are big, bad and scary, and at 50% off I'd encourage anyone to go and take a look at this one. Jordan, Juan, what are your picks this week?
Thank you, James. Well, my pick of the week is Diablo 3 Eternal Collection. One to play with family over Christmas, reduced from $49.99 to just $34.99. A healthy 30% off then. An epic dungeon raider with loads and loads of loot to find for your characters. I really enjoy this game in single player. There's a vast amount of options to play with friends, either with a Joy-Con each, slightly odd way to play given lack of buttons, but surprisingly not too bad. Things do get better when you have a Pro controller each, where up to 4 of you can play locally this way, where you can delve into the depths of those dungeons to acquire that loot. Another awesome option though is local wireless play, where up to 4 of you can play on your own Nintendo Switch without the need for an internet connection. So if some of your family are picking up a Switch this Christmas, this is certainly the one to get. And don't forget, there's all manner of online options here, as well as making this a strong contender for one of the best co-op games on the Nintendo Switch. No doubt it. So that's my pick of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful Christmas break and a happy new year.
What's up guys, Jordan here with my pick of the week, last one before the Christmas holidays, so I'm going to stay with my comfort food, JRPGs. Now I may have been slightly harsh on Final Fantasy VIII Remastered in my review, but that was more to do with naming it a remaster. It's still a great game and even more digestible thanks to the game boost included in this release. With these, the game makes far more sense. Now with 33% off at £10.71 in the UK and €13.39 in Europe, I think now is the chance to jump on this one for the first time. Or perhaps the perfect opportunity to give it a second chance if you didn't gel with it the first time around. Skipping random battles and speeding up drawing all the magic, it does kind of break the game, so you will need to keep yourself in check, but it does make the game far more bearable. Anyways, just forget that because, let's face it, you're buying this just to play Triple Triad, which is the best minigame ever made. Also, just a heads up, if you're not a viewer of my weekly physicals video, did you know that you can import a copy of Final Fantasy VIII along with 7 on a cartridge? Yes, this Asian release is beautiful and there's a link in the description if you want to find it for yourself. Anyways, that's my pick of the week. Hope you all have a fantastic Christmas holiday, guys. Take care.
Thanks Juan, thanks Jordan, and there you have our picks of the week. Do let us know your picks down below. Of course, there are many other great games on sale, and this week it seems that we have the best of the indies available on the eShop. And The Messenger certainly fits within that category. It's a game of 2 halves. It starts out as a NES love letter to games like Ninja Gaiden, complete with all the restrictions that you'd expect from this type of game, and it's tough and punishing but quite short and arcadey, along with a great chiptune soundtrack. And then about halfway through something happens and suddenly you're playing a SNES era Metroidvania. Yes, this is a clever game. It's a love letter taking you through the changes from the NES to SNES, and it works so well. One that's definitely worth picking up, a great game to enjoy this festive season. Dead Cells is a glorious Metroidvania with fantastic combat that's free-flowing and snappy. In fact, it's so good that Jordan picked it as his #1 in our recent Best Indies list. It has everything that you could want in a game. It has progression, it has beautiful visuals, a great soundtrack, tight controls. It's all there in one comprehensive package. Now that it's on sale, there's just no excuse not to pick this one up. Enter the Gungeon is one of the best roguelike twin-stick shooters on the Switch. It's full of challenging areas and clever weapons. The bit graphics and arcade tunes work perfectly, supporting the tight gameplay. Everyone can enjoy this one, it's worth the full price, and with 50% off, it's a fantastic bargain. The dev has added new content, including kart play, so you could tackle this with a buddy at Christmas. The award-winning Ori and the Blind Forest tells a tale of a young orphan destined for heroics through a visually stunning action platformer crafted by Moon Studios. It features hand-painted artwork, meticulously animated character performance, a fully orchestrated score, and dozens of new features. In this, the definitive edition, Ori and the Blind Forest explores a deeply emotional story about love, sacrifice, and the hope that exists in us all. It's fantastic to have this available on the Nintendo Switch, and even better with 30% off. Sparklite takes that classic Zelda gameplay vibe and throws it into a roguelike world. It does that while retaining its own charm and identity. This has that one more run feel about it as you head down to the planet's surface to take on big beasties and collect Sparklite, which you use to upgrade yourself and items. This one's a very enjoyable game that I can recommend wholeheartedly to anyone. Axiom Verge is a 2D Metroidvania platformer that's inspired by the greats, but stands tall on its own 2 feet. Playing this one brings back all of those fond memories of Metroid, from the pixelated art and retro soundtrack to the world's design and boss battles. What it does is balance that nostalgia without weighing itself down on the little things we often forget about, dodgy controls or issues, for example. If you've not picked this game up already, then you are missing out on a masterpiece, and even if you have it on other platforms, it's a joy to play on the move. Golf Story is a classic tale about an underdog. It's someone who wanted to be a golf pro, failed, and later on in life has a real reason to go back and give it another go. This game has bags of character, and everything about it, from the SNES era pixelated graphics and sound to the little story, is brilliantly done. Surprisingly, if you don't like golf, you can definitely still enjoy this one, and I cannot wait for Sports Story, which has now been announced, the sequel to this one. Guacamelee is a game that needs no introduction. It's a magical and creative title that fully embraces the lucha libre wrestling and mystical folklore of Mexico. It's mashed together with some humour and a fantastic game wrapping it all together. The Super Turbo Championship Edition on the Switch brings lots of little enhancements as well as new areas to be explored. Guacamelee 2 is also on sale, and it's a worthy successor building on the first title. With 50% off as well, both of these are worth picking up. Aragami is a stealth game that focuses on staying in the shadows. If you get caught, you are dead. It takes you back to titles like the original Metal Gear Solid, staying away from glorious powerful moves. It makes for a tactical and interesting game. It isn't perfect, but it's a good title that is worth playing through. When this was originally released on other platforms, it had poor controls and some issues that let the game down. When it got ported to the Switch, a lot of these issues were fixed, and what we were left with is a Castlevania-inspired, heavy metal hack-and-slash decent title. If you love a brutal challenge and don't mind dying repeatedly, then this will be the game for you. If you don't find that fun, then stay well clear of it. There are no difficulty settings here. It is what it is, so you either live with that or you don't. At such a heavy discount, it's a really nice pickup. Not everyone's favourite title in the series, Saints Row the Third is a good port, but it doesn't fix the game's underlying issues. As such, it's hard to justify if you've already played it. If you haven't, however, enjoying this on the move at 50% off, it's still a good game, complete with over-the-top, high-octane action throughout. Devolver Digital have a great track record on the Switch, and Minit doesn't disappoint. It's intentionally short and restricted to a small, old-school low-tech world. It has really good puzzles and is perfect to play over a couple of hours. There's something to be said about a game that is enjoyed and then put down before it loses its shine. Worth looking at if you're looking for something that little bit different. Imogen Form continued to knock it out of the park with their Steampunk SteamWorld series of games. This time around in the form of a turn-based RPG. It's fresh and fun to play with an intriguing and deep combat system that uses cards to great effect. The graphics and music are at the levels that we've come to expect from Imogen Form. This is another brilliant game from them and a bargain at this price. Combining two iconic puzzle franchises, Puyo Puyo Tetris is a comprehensive, solid puzzle title that's a joy to play. The main issue with it for me is the high cost, so now with 70% off, it's the right time to buy if you want a solid puzzle title. The various game modes are a blast to play, and this is great fun to play with and against your mates. Divinity Original Sin 2 has rightly been one of the highest praised RPGs on PC in recent years, and it's a big undertaking to port it over to the Switch. Mostly the job is very solid. There are of course reduced visuals and trimmed areas, but overall this is still a brilliant game. The interface works well, and this is one of the best turn-based RPG games there is. Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a brilliant game. It's a turn-based strategy game from Ubisoft that combines the world of Mario along with Rabbids. It's a fun blast to play, and to be honest, it's been on sale a couple of times, so I don't want to drag it out too much. If you've not played this one yet and you enjoy turn-based strategy games, then you might want to give this a go. This is an action platformer with lots of puzzles and a surprisingly interesting story. Made by just one person, it's one of those titles that's better than the sum of its parts. The visuals are decent, the audio is decent, and the gameplay is appealing, but together it's a bit magical, a really fun experience that's great to pick up now that it's on sale. Alright, and now it's time to find out who the winner is of last week's $10 eShop voucher. Thank you very much to everyone who commented. This week's winner is Craig Morgan. Congratulations, buddy. Please do contact us at the email link below and we'll get that delivered to you. Thanks very much, everyone. We're not going to be back next Sunday as we're going to have a little break for Christmas. So on behalf of me, Jordan and Juan, we do hope you have a great Christmas and we'll see you again in the new year. Be sure to comment down below and we'll announce that one in January. Thanks very much, everyone. Take care. See you soon.